Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our COS 1511 Group 7E Zoom session. I hope you like me telling you Zoom session. You know, it kind of gives it a little edge, right? In Durban, South KZN, it's bright and sunny. I'm not sure how it's out there with you guys. I can see Brett. Brett, you there, Brett? Hello, Brett.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, Brett. Where are you from, Brett?
I'm from Port Elizabeth.
Okay. And how's the weather out there? It looks sunny through the window.
Yeah, it is quite sunny. A little slight breeze, but it's really nice weather.
Okay, great. Brett, I heard you had some hassles with code blocks. Are you sorted out, Brett?
Yeah, that video you sent me was like straightforward. You see, not like that. The tutorials on the UNISA website never helped me. I tried all of it.
Okay. I'm happy. You see, sharing your problems, you sort things out easily, right? Sharing is caring, Brett, and caring is sharing. Remember that, right? I'll teach you all these extra things at no extra charge. All right? Okay, not that you're not charging it. Don't worry.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I can see Ezekiel is out there. Ezekiel, out. Where are you from, Ezekiel? Hello, Ezekiel.
I'm from the Free State. Hello.
The Free State. Okay. So we got Port Elizabeth. We got the Free State. I'm so happy that you're here. And how's it going with assignment 2, Ezekiel?
I haven't started with assignment 2 yet.
Okay. All right. I'm going to assist you and try and give you some strategies on how to tackle assignment 2 for today. All right. So I'm glad you're on. Miriam. Hello, Miriam. How are you? Miriam, you there? Claire. Mandla, or is it Manda? Anybody would like to unmute and quick introduction, where you from, how far you are with assignment 2?
Afternoon, sir. I'm from Joburg, and I've done most of assignment 2. All that's left is like a lot of the array work, like getting all my arrays to work.
Okay. Which assignment 2 are you talking about, Manda?
Sorry?
Apparently there's 2 assignment 2s I heard. There's one about the flight booking system and there's another assignment 2.
The flight booking system.
Okay, Mandla, the flight booking system, apparently that's now changed to assignment 4. Ezekiel, you want to verify that for Manda? Hello, Miriam. Hi, Miriam.
Hi, sir.
How are you, Miriam? Where are you from?
From Limpopo.
Limpopo. So I've got Limpopo, Free State. I'm sure there's somebody from Joburg. Anybody from my KZN, Durban? Okay. Right. Now, Manda made a very important point. He said that he's working on assignment 2, and assignment 2 talks about the flight booking system. Now, I received an email from the lecturer, and she mentioned that there's another assignment 2, and that assignment 2 is due at the end of the month. So, Manda, I need you to check your My UNISA status. Check your My UNISA. Let me go there. I'm going to quickly go to My UNISA, and Manda, I want you to check that the lecturer has included a new assignment 2. So Amanda, this is for you. So I'm going to my Brett, just tell me, can you see my screen? I'm on COS 151122Y.
Yes, I can see it there. You're on
okay,
the
great. So Amanda, I'd like you to go to assignment 2 where it says assessment 2, and you should be able to see this new assessment, right? There is a new assessment. Let's see if ma'am has uploaded it. Right, there we go. You download the new assessment, and I'm downloading it for you as if I'm a student, which I kind of am, and I like to be, and I like programming. Let's see if she has uploaded it. Yay, there we go, Manda. Can you see that? It says, write
Yes, sir.
function headers for the functions described below. The function check has two parameters. The first parameter should be an integer and the second parameter is a floating point. And they don't talk anything about flight booking system, Manda. Okay.
Okay, so I'll start on this one then.
Yes, and that goes to everybody else as well. By the way, it says 16th of May, and today is the what's today's date? It's the 14th of May. I don't think it's due so quickly, right? Check your announcements, and ma'am says that the assignment 2 is due. There we go. There's the email. There's the announcement, right? It says, please note that assignment 2 is changed to assignment 4, and assignment 4 is changed to assignment 2. This is according to the study plan, right? The study guide, and I'll talk to you about that. Assignment 2 submission is extended to the 31st of May. So we've got like 2 weeks or so to sort that out, and I'm going to help you on how to get to that point, right? While we are on this point, I'd like to mention to you that my class group is cost 151122Y7E. Now, all of you sitting out here are participants of that group, right? So if I go down here, it says participants, and let me look for a student. B is for Brett, B, and with the first name and surname M. Let me see who can I find that? Oh, there's a student out there, Brett Gavin Mack. Brett.
Yeah, that's me. Yes,
that's you. Yes, that's you. And last accessed the course 4 days ago. So Brett, I think you should access it a little more frequently. Okay, Brett?
Yes, but no, my laptop, like I said, my laptop was
oh, excuses, Brett. Okay. Just to give you, are you talking about not having a laptop? When I studied computer science 1 and computer science 2, I never had a laptop. I used to go to the library. I used to go to my neighbors' homes to use it. And if I could do it, you know, Brett, come on now, no excuses, right? No excuses, right? So Brett, I'd like you after this lesson, I'd like you to go and explore this group 7E. And I have some past year examination papers. That's quite a nice subsection to go to. And I also have a quiz for lesson 1. Brett, I believe you are still loading code blocks. So go to lesson 1 and run the quiz. And oh, look at that. 22 people have attempted the quiz out of 200. That's not such a great statistic, right? So please try that out, Brett, and that goes to the rest of you as well. Now that will assist you in your understanding of concepts in programming. And I'm going to try and create quizzes for other lessons as well. So please do that. Right, so I'm going to say goodbye to that screen, and I'm going to go back to my screen that talks about assignment 2. Now, assignment 2, if you look at it, it says that the tutorial matter that you need to cover is lessons 17 to 23, right? Lessons 17 to 23. So, Brett, before you start assignment 2, you need to ensure that you cover all the questions in assignment 1. I understand you told me you didn't finish all of that. You need to sort that out. Because Brett, programming is like this. You can't leave lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and jump to lesson 17 and say, hey, I'm going to work on assignment 2. Okay, Brett? You're going to find it a little bit difficult. Right? And trust me, I know about this. I'm in programming from 1986. I'm not sure if you are round about my age, right? So I'm giving you some good advice. If you want to take advice about programming and learning C++ or any programming language for that matter, you have to do it in sequence. And doing it in sequence means going to lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way up and then working on lesson 17. So lesson 17 talks about, I don't know, let me go and check what is lesson 17 all about, right? Let's see what's lesson 17.
So this lesson we're doing now, lesson what would this be?
All right, this lesson, oh, very nice. Oh, there we go. This is how I do my lesson prep, Brett. I use something called Wakelet. I have, do I have my Wakelet? So you'll know what's going on in this lesson. Let's go home. So today is the 14th of May. My lesson, I'll talk to you about assignment 2, which I've already started. Manda has given me a little shock when he spoke to me about flight booking system. I'll take you through the study guide. I'll take you through to the C++ resources. I'll show you my videos on YouTube. I'll talk to you about the announcement feature, which I've already done. Ms. Mbalasi has posted an announcement, a very nice one, that says that the assignment 2 is on 31st of May. I mentioned that there's 27 inactive students in my group. And now that I know Brett is there 4 days ago, he accessed it. So Brett, I'd like you to access it this afternoon as well. In the 7E group, there's a glossary of terms. Here's my challenge to you, Brett, and to everybody else. Take one term a day. That's all I ask. Learn one term for the day. So if you look at where's my group 7E? Here's my group 7E. Yes, I'd like to extend that. Oops, it says I need to log in again. Let me go and log in. Right, so if I go to my glossary of terms, take one term a day. That's all I'm asking. Oh, there's something about ALU, Arithmetic Logic Unit. Let's go to C. You should be on day 3. C in. What is C in? C in is an object in C++. It belongs to the class IO stream. The extraction operator is used along with the object C in. So learn one term a day. Instead of watching TV, instead of going and looking at all the other YouTube funny cat videos, learn one term a day. And I will know when you accessed your group 7E, right, Brett?
Yeah, I see now, you'll know.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on you, all right? And I've got 264 of you to keep an eye on. And like I've got all over. Manda is in, Manda, you was in Oorfres or you were in Joburg or Limpopo? Manda, are you there? Ezekiel? No, you're not there. Okay, okay. Right, Ezekiel, I'd like you to do that, right? Go and check it out. And Ezekiel, I'd like you to check out the past year examination papers, because that will give you an idea of what's going to appear in 2022. Ezekiel, I don't have 22 paper, and I'm not sure if you got it as yet, Ezekiel.
Not see. Is it on my modules?
Yes, under my modules, you go to cost 1511 227 Y7E. I've posted some past year papers under additional resources and right?
Oh, I just found it. Thank you.
You found it. Oh, great. Hey, look at that. I've got 2014 paper, which is 6E1. That's first semester. And I've got 2014 E1, 10. That's second semester. By the way, I have lots and lots of other papers as well. And if any of you did the course last year, you'll notice that there's some repetition that's happening this year, right? Then I've got some PowerPoint files as well. So have a look at that. And right, so let's get into the crux of today's subject matter. Today's subject matter, I'm talking to you about assignment 2. And Brett, you should be able to see the screen on where it says code blocks. Brett, can you see that, Brett?
On the screen, yeah.
Right, now, Brett, I'm going to jump straight into assignment 2. So let me look at what the question is in assignment 2. Let's look at assignment 2. And assignment 2 talks about functions. Now, if you watch my video from last week, Brett, and the week before, I spoke about functions. In fact, I was working on the flight booking system, and the flight booking system had to do with functions. Check it out, check it out. Write function headers for the following functions described below. Check it out, Brett. I'm just going to jump straight. I'm going to, for some odd reason, I just feel maybe I should start with question 7. Right, Brett? Now, watch this, how easy I'm going to make my life, right, Brett? So, Brett, I'm the only lecturer who will tell you that you are allowed to copy in the class. Brett, you with me, Brett?
Yes, yes, I'm with you. Yeah.
Can you check
I
what
like
I'm
the
doing,
copying.
Brett?
Yeah,
Can you check it out, Brett?
Yeah, I'm used to this copying already.
You are. Are you a copycat? I'm glad you got my sense of humor. I'm so happy for that. My wife says that I got no sense of humor, and she didn't marry me for that. So gosh. Anyway, there we go. I'm glad I got some sense of humor. So I go to project, I go to new, I go to project, and I go to console application. There's some revision for you. Let's give it C++. Let's give it a nice, meaningful name. Brett. Oh, okay, I lost Brett.
This is my first Zoom lesson. So we should like follow what you're doing, or just watch what you're doing.
No. For now, just watch me. Just watch me.
Okay.
A lecturer has this ego trip. He wants all eyes focused on him, right? So for now, just watch me. Is that okay, Brett?
Yeah, no, that's perfect. That's fine.
Did you check my program name, Brett?
I swear, yes, I saw it.
Okay. So I did some copying over there, and you said you copy all the time, and I'm going to do some pasting now. Control V. Brett, am I a fast typist or what, Brett?
Yeah, I can see.
I'm very fast, right?
Very
So
fast,
question 10. You see, Brett, I have to work fast like this, Brett, because I got to save you some airtime and all that goes with it, you know? So that's why I do that, Brett. And I also don't have the whole day to work, all right? I've got a few minutes. So let me go back to that question. Where's that question? Where am I? I forgot where I copied. Oh, line 23. It's also line 23. Let me go back there. And I need to copy from line 23. Now, Brett, you shouldn't be copying, huh? Because you should be typing. Control C is to copy. And I go to my code blocks, and Control V is to paste. Now, Brett, this is quite fast. I have to admit, I'm just as fast. But I got to go and do some cleanup operations out there. So let me just take out all those line numbers. And let's take that line number out. And let's take that line number out. So this is assignment 2, question 7, and I'm calling it Brett. Now, this is a very, very important concept in C++. You need to learn how to do a variable diagram. A variable diagram is basically tracing through the program to find out what it is doing, right? What's going on in this program? Because you as a programmer will have to work with somebody else's program. And if you're working with someone else's program, you've got to first find out what is it that you want, right? I'm not sure if any of you are married out here. It's always a good idea to find out what your spouse wants, right, before you start doing the work or getting something done, right? So in my case, I am a programmer and someone else has written this program, maybe your spouse, maybe your girlfriend or boyfriend, whoever, and you want to find out what's going on in this question. In fact, that's what they ask you. They say variable diagrams revisited. And in this question, Brett, they have functions in there. So they've got a function called func1, func2, func3. What's with all these F words here? And they've got a main man. There's the main man. Oops, did I copy that twice? All right, let's take that out. All right, so I could have done all of that. I would have neatened that up. And just to save some time, Brett, I've done this beforehand. So think of this as a cooking show example, and here it is that the person has done it, right? And I could call it variable diagram. So Brent, you with me, Brent?
Yes, I'm with you. Yeah.
Right. So this is how the program works. And when I teach programming, I like to talk like as if I'm telling you a story, Brent. So here's my story. Once upon a time, Brent, you like stories, Brent?
Yeah, you can say so.
Okay,
Yes, depends what
okay.
type of story.
Oh, okay. This is a story called variable diagrams, right? I'm not sure if there's anybody else out here. I can see quite a few participants. Any of you have kids and you tell your kids stories? Hello, any participants out here? Hey, Akil is here. Oh, my helicopter pilot. Akil, welcome, Akil. Ezekiel. Akil, how are you? You didn't say hello to me. Hello, Akil.
Sorry, sir, I came a bit late today, so
That's okay. That's okay. I know you were parking the helicopter, so it's okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. So anybody has kids out here? Parents? Anybody? Parents? No parents. Come on, man. UNISA students, they must have children. Hello? Anybody? Yes, I can see a thumbs up there. Momelo. Unmute.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you've got kids.
Yes,
Right. And I'm sure you like to tell them stories, don't you, Momelo?
all the time because they're old enough to understand.
Yes. So today you're going to tell them a story, and the story is called variable diagrams, right? So this is the story that
Interesting.
goes. Right. So I'm going to tell you a story now, right? So I'm going to tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a program called variable diagrams. In the main man of the program, they had 3 global variables out here. And the variables were N, M, and J. So if you had a story, Mamela, you are telling them a story about 3 friends. There were 3 friends, Akil, Brett, and Momela and Ezekiel. In line 27, the variable N took on the value of 5. And in line number 28, the variable M took on the value of 10. Do you like my story? Do you like my story, Ezekiel?
Yes, I do.
Oh, thank you, Ezekiel. Now, in line number 29 and in line number 30, there's a C out statement. The reason I had to include a C out statement because the 2 characters in the story, N and M, took on the values of 5 and 10, and I want to see if these values are really stored in variables N and M. By the way, N and M are integer variables, okay? They are not float, they belong to the race called N and M. You know, just like in in human race, we have you know, we have South Africans and Americans and all of that. So here we have N and M, right? So this is a trick, by the way. In order to find out what's going on in the program, it's nice to include print statements. C out is a print statement. Now, Brett, if you do my quiz 1, there's a question about C out over there. All right, Brett?
Yes, I'm going to attempt it once I just go through some lessons first.
I'm happy for that. Now you're making me you're disturbing my story and all. You know, I was talking about my story. So where was I in the story? In line number 29 and line number 30. In line number 29, we are displaying values N and M. In line number 31, there is a function call. Aha. Mamela, this is how you're going to tell your children the story. The story is J takes on the value, and you've got to be scary because now control is transferred from line number 31 all the way to function 1, which is line number 5. How's that for the effect? With my story? Ah, come on, man. I'm telling you a story. Miss Raleke, right?
Like it's very interesting.
You like the story, ma'am?
Very much.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I know you feel that you are an adult and here I am telling you a story, but this is one way of learning programming, right? It's a story sum that's going on in there. Now, I'm not sure if your children will appreciate the story, Mr. Aleke, but I know I like the story, and I'm sure you like the story as well. So now, where was I in the story? There's a new character called J, and this character is a function call. And this function takes on two of the other characters, which were variables 5 and 10. Look at the order. There's 5 and there's 10. And guess what happens in the story now when I jump to line number 5? I have parameters in there. The parameters are n and n1. Now I go inside the function. So Mr. Aleke, you can tell them the story like, now we enter into the house. It's like a house. It's like another part of this program, right? So here's the function. And inside here, in line number 7, oh, look at this, n plus equals 3. That looks a bit weird. Ezekiel, what does that mean, Ezekiel? N plus equals 3. They're talking some other language. Ezekiel or Akil?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Ezekiel. Ezekiel, what is this n plus equals 3?
I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, okay. Akil, would you like to help him? N plus equals 3?
I believe it will be the value of the n plus the 3.
Okay, so another way of writing it out would be n is equal to n plus 3, right? This is just a short way of writing it. You know, it's like, you know, some helicopter pilots may call talking about Victor, Tango, Bravo, Akil.
Yes, yes,
Right.
I agree.
So that's your lingo. That's how you talk, right? Now, this is how we talk in line number 7. That's the way we converse as programmers. We like to talk like that because we confuse, you know, like Ezekiel is confused now. But now that I told him, he's not confused anymore. The same story with line number 8, n1 minus equals n. So that's a convention of programmers. And then in line number 9, return 2 times n plus n1 times c. Ooh, I forgot to tell you about this thing. There's another character in the story, and this character is called c. Here's c, which is a constant value. That means for the life of the program, the value of c will stay the same. Right? The value of c stays the same, and it remains 200 throughout the program. Now, coming back to my story, after this happens in line number 5, whatever output is generated from this procedure, right? There's a little function that I have. Sorry, I used the word procedure. We can use it interchangeably, right? In this function, 2 times the value of n plus n1 times c. By the way, don't forget the rules of board mass. While we're on that point, what is board mass? Here's another lingo that we like to talk about. Participants, anybody? Karabo, what's board mass? Gugu, what's board mass?
So board mass is bracket of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction.
Aha, that's our lingo, right? So that talks about the order of doing mathematical operations. So in this instance out here, 2 plus n1 times c, I've got to first do n1 times c. Then I've got to add it and so forth. But Karabo knows all about that, right? So in the program, J takes that value on. And after I run the program, and after I do that, I go to line number 32, line number 33. Now, if I want to find out what the value of n and m are, I can have another C out statement. So let me run this program over here. And I'm going to say Control C, Control V. Now, the reason I put that in is I am learning programming. Oops, I shouldn't be telling you that. You'll be thinking, oh my goodness, how are you going to be learning from an e-tutor that he himself says he's learning programming? Okay, I'm just kidding, right? I know a little bit about programming. Okay, I know a little bit more than you because you're the student and I'm the tutor, right? So here it goes. Line number 34, I included those lines because I want to find out what is the new value of n and m. So I'm so happy with that. Oh, look at this. In line number 36, there's another function call. And this time they are telling me that there's no value being passed to it. Can you see in line number 31, the new character called J. J is for John, right? We couldn't write the whole word John, we just say J. So there's another way of writing the function in line number 36, this time without passing it to. So let's go and look at what is func2, F-U-N-C-T, func2. Func2 is a void function. And last week I spoke to you about void. Brett, I know you can't remember what happened last week, Brett. Ask me why, Brett.
I don't know, maybe because I wasn't there, but
Maybe. Now you'll have to go and watch my video and make sure you click on the like button in YouTube, right? So let's look at these two different functions. There's the function func1. In line number 9, it says return 2 plus n1 times c. But in line number, in this function, func2, there's no return. And all we have is line number 14, 15, 16, and there's some operation taking place in there. And Brett, look very carefully at line number 5 and line number 12. In line number 5, there's no ampersand, right? That and symbol, right? That tells me that this parameter has a special function, which has a special meaning to it, right? Akil, you were here last week. You remember what that was called, Akil?
Ampersand sensor.
Yeah, well, what was the meaning given to that ampersand? Why did we put that ampersand in front of that parameter?
Oh, for pausing it, I believe.
Yeah, we want to refer to it. Use that word I used, refer to it.
To refer to it.
Yeah, we want to reference it, right? It's a reference parameter. So what happens is whatever takes place in N1 in the function called func2 gets passed along out here. And if I want to find out what's happening inside function F1 or F2, I need to include some print statements out there, right? Cout statements. Because whatever happens inside func2 stays in func2. It's like whatever happens in Pretoria stays in Pretoria, right? Or in your case, Brett, whatever happens in Port Elizabeth stays in Port Elizabeth, right? Oh my, here's my sense of humor that doesn't
but not always. It's things in Port Elizabeth, it spreads all over. Like
right,
COVID.
that's because it's a reference parameter. Is that a good joke or what?
It's a good one, sir.
Oh, thank you, right? So these are local variables. That means what if they're local, they only will remain inside func2. Let's look at func3 now, right? So and the line number 36, that's what takes place. Line number 37, n is equal to 25. Okay, that means the value of n is changing. Can you see the difference with what I spoke to you about a constant variable? See, constant variable, C is a constant. It cannot change. That's what the word CONST stands for. By the way, you see how I became a computer programmer and a computer lecturer? All I need to do is read what is CONST. Ha! And that's how I know it's a constant variable. Is that cool or what, right? Oh, can you see the word return? It says return that value. So now I know it's a function that returns something. And can you see it says void? I know void means nothing. It's in the void. It doesn't return anything, right? Ha! Am I cool or what? Check it out. That's how easy programming is, Brett. Can you see it has the word int in front of this function? That means the value being returned by func1 is an integer value. All right? So let's go on with the story. Oh, Mr. Raleke, I forgot where I was in the story. Lucky I'm not telling my children the stories, right? But anyway, you can work out the story. So where was I in the story? Once upon a time, there was a program called variable diagram. And in this variable diagram, there were 3 variables, n, m, and j, and all of them were integers. They were passed across in functions. And there were 3 functions called func1, func2, and func3. Func1, func2, and func3 had parameters. And I'm going to talk to you about these things. These are formal parameters and actual parameters. And ultimately, we need to work out what's going on in this program. Before we got to find out and get the answer, we need to have an understanding of what is it. And that's what I've been trying to do with you in this short program that I spent about 10 minutes talking to you about, right? Because in this assignment 2, they talk about functions and how we will use them and how we interpret them. Because programming is made up of lots and lots and lots and lots of functions. Okay, just like last week when we were talking about the get line and how we wanted to print the welcome sign and get our name request. This is what's happening in this program out here, right? And I'm so glad that ma'am has now broken up the assignment into 7 questions and 7 separate questions so that we can make life a little bit easier for us, okay? So what I could do is I could run this program. I can do a build and run, and I could check what's going on in my program. Oops, there seems to be an error out there. Sorry about that. I did that to show you. Good point now. Here's my thingy. At the end of every line, we need a terminator. Okay, we need a terminator, something to terminate the line. Let me look at this error message. By the way, can I show you, again, I'll show you how I became a computer teacher. All I need to do is read what's going on on the screen. Right, so where's my logs here? There's my log, view my log. So that was the error message out there. The error message said, expected a terminator. If you do my quiz, one of the questions in the quiz is, where do I need to put that terminator? Right, it's at the end of the line. That's where I found it. Let's do another build and run. Let's do another build and run. Brett, you got to need to learn about this build and run story. Let's build and run. Oh, there seems to be another error out here. Expected a terminator, which I sorted out. Right, it says error expected before N1, which I did. Build it, build it. Anybody, any help here, Ezekiel?
Line number 9, perhaps, on your function.
Oh, on my function, yes. You see, this is what happens when you copy all the time, you know. Thank you, thank you. I'm so happy. Disclaimer, I don't know everything. I know something, you know, not all, but something else, something else. Guess what? This works like a charm. Let me go to my backup. I'm so glad I have a backup. I did this program. By the way, if I was recording this, which I am, then all these errors would be out there, would pop up out there. And that's okay. That's okay. Let me go and see what I've done. Here's the program. I've done the program on another compiler, on an online compiler. Give me a sec, which I'll talk to you about as well. There's my program. I'm going to cheat a little. I'm just going to copy that. Copy the whole program. Again, I don't want to waste your time and my time. And if life, I think maybe it's a name. No, maybe a name. Let me do a new console application. Ezekiel, can I use your name, Ezekiel?
Yes, sir.
E-Z-K-I-E-L.
Yes.
Okay, Ezekiel question 7. I think it's his Brett, you know, maybe Brett's name, you know, I'm not sure, maybe that.
It has to be.
No, don't say that, Brett. I'm joking. Right, so let's do a build and run there. Yay, check it out, Ezekiel. Your name seemed to work there, right? Oh, I know why, Brett, because you didn't attend last week's lesson. See, Ezekiel attended last week's lesson. Right, so everything is working out here. Guess what? They're not displaying anything on screen. Now, that's why I put in those cout statements. So if you want to find out what this program does, again, I'm doing when I say, let's just take it with the logs there. If I want to find out what the program does, see out the value of n is n line, see out the value of m is right. Now let's, Ezekiel, fingers crossed, Ezekiel.
Yes, sir.
Hold and run. Yay! Ooh, my goodness. The value of m is 990. The value of m is 1056. Ezekiel, did you get that in assignment 2? I know you told me you're busy working on that.
No, I had said that I haven't started with assignment 2.
Oops. And here I am giving you the answer outright. Oh my goodness, I don't give out answers. Brett, Ezekiel, I don't give out answers. I hope this is not being recorded. Pause the recording. You, Mr. Aleke, this is the end of the story. I gave you the ending of the story. Oh no. Not to worry. The question says they want the convention like the variable diagram in the study guide. So you will have to have line number, variable A, B, C, D, or NMJ, and I tend to use either the Excel spreadsheet, or you can use those blocks in there. So you will have to go through each value. Now we can do that the long way, but here I am to help you, to speed up the process a little bit, because we need to debug. By the way, what we are doing out here is debugging. We're running through the program to find out what's going on in it, and to even work out some bugs and to find out whether our program is indeed doing what it's supposed to do. So now that you know what the output is, you could use a variable diagram to work out, without the use of the compiler, without the computer, to determine whether you indeed get those values. And you will need to use the convention of the study guide. All right. So admittedly, yes, I gave you the answer, the final answer, but I did not go through each and every line to tell you how and what it is that transpired with the variables, which is variables n, m, and j. I was actually telling you on starting, right? Okay, so that sorts that out. That helps you with assignment 2, question 10. Question 7, sorry, question 7. Now, the other thing that's important out here is you need to go and work out each lesson. Let's look at the study guide. Let's look at the study guide. I'm on the study guide. I don't need that anymore. I don't need that. Let's go to the study guide. So if you notice, this question was actually part of what transpired from the previous lessons, and also what transpired in lessons 17, 18, 19 about functions. And what I'd like you to do is, I'd like you to go to lesson 18. Let's go to lesson number 18. Well, at the end of the lessons, oopsie, I think it's page 209. Let's go to page 209. Let's go there. Let's go to page 209. And again, this is a part-time class. You're a part-time correspondence students. If I was teaching you full-time, I would have went through each and every one, right? But unfortunately, we don't have the time for that. All I've got to do is, all I have is 1 hour. And in 1 hour, I've got to assist you to get to the grips of functions and procedures and parameters and local variables and global variables and actual parameters and formal parameters and value parameters and reference parameters and return functions and void functions. Oh my goodness, that's a hell of a lot to work with, right? You, as a UNISA student, will have to go through all of this in detail, right? And I can just point you in the right direction. So if you look at this question out here. I'm going to skip lesson 17. You will need to go through that, and you will need to go through all the exercises out there. Just like if you go to the gym, if you exercise your muscles, you can see I haven't exercised that in a while. You'll get stronger. If you work on these exercises, you will increase this brain power, right? And you'll increase your chances of getting and scoring a distinction in this course. By the way, Brett, that's what you must aim for, distinction, right? Akil, you too, y'all are going for distinctions because I'm your tutor and I'm going to help you to do that. Right, so you will read through all of lesson number 18, and I showed you how to do some copying and pasting. You run the program, you check it out, you do it, you determine what it is, and you read through the discussion points in the study guide. I'm now going to just quickly take this exercise, and they talk about parameter passing, and they talk about types of parameters. Let's look at, read through the important points. By the way, that's how I start the lesson. I look at the end of the chapter, the important points of the, and then I go to the beginning of the lesson. Here we go. It says, look at the following program skeleton. This illustrates reference parameters using namespace standard Boolean test. So Ms. Raleke, are you there? Are you still with us?
So yes, sir.
Yes, Ms. Raleke, right. So there's your story sum for your children. Once upon a time, there was a story called exercise 1, and there's one function called test, and it had 3 parameters, par1, par2, and par3. How's that for the story? I don't think your children will like it, but anyway, if they're into programming, maybe they would. Right? So here's the program. Now it says, what is a function heading? So in which line number does that appear? And they want you to work out the answer. Now I know the lecturer has given you the answers, so here I am sharing that with you. It's already 12:47. I'm just going to go through those answers with you from the guide. It says, which one is a function heading? The function heading is found in line number 5. Here's the function heading. Then the next question is formal parameters. The formal parameters are par1, par2, and par3. Hey, this sounds like when I was learning to play golf, right? Those are formal parameters. By the way, if you're learning formal parameters, you should also learn actual parameters. The actual parameters is where it actually appears for the first time. How's that for a definition? Brett?
Yes.
How's that for a sense of humor? How's that sense of humor? Right? It actually appears for the first time. It actually appears for the first time. Where is it called? There we go in line number 14, right? Now, then the next one is, it says, what are the return type? That's the next one. The return type is found in line number 5, which is, it's going to appear as a true or false, 0 or 1. That's in line number 5, which the answer is 4. The next one, it says, where do I call the function? If you listen to what I spoke to you about question 7, the one with Brett's name in it and Ezekiel's name, that's where I call the function by its name. So if you want to address me and you call me, you say, Prinavin, that's my name. That's a function call. That's what's happening out here. Where do I call the function? I call the function in line number 14. Okay, I need to make this a little bit bigger, but you can see that, right? So there we go. There's line number 14 is where I call the function. In question 7, it's another line number. By the way, I deliberately changed those line numbers, so you will have to go through that on your own. Then it spoke about where's the actual parameters. The actual parameters are found in line number 14. By the way, when I was a school teacher, for my students to learn this, actual parameters and formal parameters, A comes before F, A in the alphabet, right? So That's where you find out. And also when we're reading a program or we're telling the story, we always start the story from the main program, right? The main function, the main man, which is in line number 10. So actual parameters, line number 14, AP, actual AF, actual parameters, and formal parameters is found on the top. The first line that's executed, so there's the first line of the executed, which is in line number 10, because we start with the main function. We start the story. Once upon a time, there was a main function in line number 10, right? Let's look at the next exercise, exercise 18.2. You'll need to go through that one. So if you want to increase your speed like Brett would have to, because he's got 2 weeks to sort out assignment 2 and get to grips with everything else, you can copy this program into the compiler and you work out the output by running the program. So that will help you with this part. Now let me take you to assignment 2 again, right? So let me take you to assignment 2. Right? So I'm going to make it worth your while, Brett. Here's assignment 2, and they talk about write function headers for the following functions described below. The function check has 2 parameters. The first parameter should be an integer number, and the second parameter should be a floating point number. The function returns no value. Ezekiel? Ezekiel?
Yes, sir.
Right, let's look at your program. Ezekiel, code blocks. Ezekiel, which function returns no value over here? Ezekiel?
The void one.
And which one is that? This Ezekiel. There's 2 void functions, Ezekiel. Func2 and func3. Ezekiel, give me the name of the function.
Void func2.
Right, and void func3, correct. So in this assignment question, they want you to write a function, and the function, where's the function? The function will have 2 parameters. The first should be an integer and the second should be a floating point. So now you have an idea that it's either looks like func3 or func2. And the first one, what did it say, Ezekiel? That it must have a integer and the second one must be a float.
Yes.
Right. So Ezekiel, I know how to do the int part, right? That's easy, right? Because that's from your function that you create, right, Ezekiel?
Yes, sir.
Now, how would I make it into a float, Ezekiel, the second parameter?
I'm not quite sure, but would you not write float before the name of?
I don't know. I don't give any answers to assignment questions, Ezekiel. I told you that. Ezekiel?
Yes, sir.
Ezekiel?
I can see you, sir.
What you can see, Ezekiel? Oh man, Ezekiel, you know, I can't see your face. I don't know what you're checking. Brett, check me, Brett. Ezekiel? I don't want to go
Yeah, we
look
got
at
it, sir.
Miss Ramalek. You know, just now should be in trouble. I'm giving you a hint. It's a yes, it is. It's a secret, right? Let's look at the second part question. This is the function mult has 2 floating point numbers as parameters and returns the result of multiplying them. Ezekiel.
Yes, sir.
We need to return the value. Ezekiel.
Yes, sir.
Come on. So which one, Ezekiel?
Similar to the one from line 5.
Which is func1.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right? F1, right? Okay. So they're talking about the return. Brett, Akil.
Got it, sir.
Right. The next one says, the function time inputs seconds, minutes, and hours and returns them as parameters to the calling function. So I've got to give it back to them in the main program. I need to refer to them. Hello. I need to refer to them.
I got it, the reference parameter.
Oh, you're right, Akil, some reference thing, right. Okay, let's look at the next one. It says, question 2, find the errors in each of the following program segments and explain how the errors can be corrected. Int function 1, C out inside function 1, line int function 2. Okay, so there's the C out statements that I was talking about at the beginning of the lesson, where I told you that they're putting in some C out statements to determine whether you are indeed inside a function or not. And I think that this is going to be the forthcoming attraction, which is for next week, right? It's already 1 o'clock. But I'd like you all to try this out. There's another function, int sum, int x, int y. Those are 2 parameters. So if Mr. Raleke, I was talking a story, I'll say once upon a time, there was a function called sum, and the return value was an integer. There were 2 parameters called x and y, and both the parameters were integers, and they were value parameters. And the reason I know they are value parameters is because they do not have the ampersand in front of them. Inside the function called sum, there is a local variable called result, which is a, what kind of a type is that, Ezekiel? Ezekiel, it's a type int. Then it took on the value of result is equal to x plus y. So it added the value of x and y, and it now needs to determine whether it's going to display it or not. But we need to work that out and to find out how and what it is to correct that error. The same thing happens in number 3. Compute prod int n. If n is equal to 0, oh, there's another, I like this double equal to sign. That means, is it equal to 0? If it is, it needs to return 0. If not, what's the story? So go and find out how you need to do this. Outspot. Look at this. Look at the computation. Try and write it out so that it looks something like what we did. The same thing happens with line number 4 and number 5. Look at number 5. It says there's 3 parameters. Enter the 3 integers. Calculate the value by multiplying each variable. So now that that's done, oh, there's another one called cube. Write a function that returns the cube of the integer passed to it. For example, cube 2 will return 8. I think that's a good program for next week, right? But you guys should be working on it from now till next week, because next week's date is going to be the 21st, and we still have about a week or so left to submit the assignment. So next week, I'm going to talk about cubes, and we'll talk a little bit about this thing about the triangle. We'll talk about something about question 4, what they talk about string values, and how we submit the program. And maybe if we have time, we'll look at how the rest of the thing goes. But if you want to know, I've already done some work on my own. So where's my cube? Let me go and see if I have my cube function here, just to show you that I wrote a simple program to calculate the cube. Is it here? My recent files. All right, so next week we'll talk a little bit about cubes. Search cube. Oh, there we go, right? Right, so there's for next week. Oh, if you look at my there we go. I've got all of this. Check. I do my prep before my lesson starts, right? And I think you should be doing your prep before you come to my class as well. Because Brett, if you notice, Google project doesn't exist. Oh, that's not right. But I've already done my work, right? I've done the work. But I need to give it to you in small doses. I don't want to overwhelm you and give you all the programs at once. And then you're going to find out, oh, you are feeling overwhelmed and you may deregister from this course. I don't want you to do that, right? All right, so I'm going to stop at that point. Any questions from you? Anybody with a question? Oh, I've got some questions. Hello, I don't have a mic from Ryan. Miriam, I can't hear a thing. Is it my computer? I think it is. Another question, Ryan, nope. I'm pretty young. That's it means 1 is added to 3. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry I didn't check the chat out. I'm on a roll. Right, so anybody with a question? It's 1 o'clock. I've given you 59 minutes or so, plus give or take, you know, hello, how are you, and all that goes with it. Brett?
No questions on my side.
You mean I did such a good job, you understand everything?
No, obviously I don't understand as yet, but I need to
You're getting
do
there.
the lessons and
Okay,
just,
okay,
you know,
okay.
maybe next week I'll have some questions for you.
Okay, I'm glad. Please work on assignment. In fact, Brett, you should actually complete assignment 1. You should complete all the lessons from lesson 1 to lesson 17, all the solutions, work through that, because that will help you for lesson, for the 17, 18, 19 for assignment 2, okay?
Yes.
Okay, Brett, plus you need to go to my group 7 and do my quiz. Ezekiel, Ezekiel, do you have a question, Ezekiel?
Yes, I have one question. It isn't necessarily related to what you were teaching, but it's on code blocks. So I ended up doing my assignment 1 using a different software, dev C++. So when I was on code blocks, whenever I would run my programs, it would always say the small device C compiler is invalid. So I didn't know how to work around that, and I ended up just
doing the same thing. Install code blocks, bro. Yeah? And then Mr. Governor is gonna send you a YouTube video, then you just follow that. That's all.
Oh, thank you, Brett. Well done. I'm so happy Brett is answering the question. Brett, are you going to take over my e-tutoring job, Brett? Hey, well done.
If I do it, you're gonna lose all the subscribers and likes and everything.
No. Ezekiel, Brett has a solution for you. I would like it if you could share each other's details with you on the WhatsApp group, so that this is called peer-to-peer learning. You're learning from each other. Thank you, Brett, for that. Right?
Yes,
so
sir.
Ezekiel, I would agree with what Brett says, who's my co-pilot right now. Oh, that's Akil, co-pilot, sorry. I mean, Brett is my co-tutor. He says that he knows how to install C code blocks, and there's some videos that he learned about. I don't know where he got those videos from, but I think, Ezekiel, you should use the official software that the lecturer in course 1511 wants you to use, which is code blocks. So Ezekiel,
Okay, sir.
Do that. Uninstall whatever you have, make contact with Brett. Brett, if you could please forward him those emails I sent you today. And, you know, sharing is caring, Brett. Okay?
Yes, no problem. No problem.
And caring is sharing. Ezekiel? Ezekiel?
Yes, sir.
There we go. Brett knows how to sort out your problems with code blocks. You must use code blocks because that's what the lecture says you need to use. And it's always nice to listen to what the teacher has to say, all right?
Thank you,
Akil,
sir.
do you have a question for me?
Ezekiel, are you in that WhatsApp group there?
I'm in one WhatsApp group, but I don't think it's the 7E1.
Okay, you in the chat, if you want to just share each other's numbers out there, right? I don't think that gets recorded, so that shouldn't be a problem. All right. Or you can contact me, Ezekiel. You should have my number and I'll hook you up with Brett. All right. Miss Raleke.
Yes, sir.
What story are you going to tell your children today?
That I still need to figure out how to actually tell them the story about code blocks or the, the functions.
Okay.
I need to be confident when I tell them the story, but I did like your story.
Oh, thank you. You know, sometimes they think that I treat my students, even though they are parents and all of that, but it's nice to tell stories now and then, right? And that's how programming should be. It's a story that you are telling to someone who doesn't know what's going on in the program and you want to figure out what's it all about, right? So thank you very much. Akil, I didn't hear from you. Any questions, any queries? No. Okay, great. We're going to call it a day. There's 2 more questions in the chat there. Oh, okay, that's just they're exchanging numbers. Okay, right. So great. I'm happy for that. Anybody wants to do a class photograph, wants to put the camera on, we'll do a class photograph or share it on our WhatsApp group. Anybody? No, yes. I've been talking all the time. All right. It's 1:10. I've already taken extra time from you, right? Oh, Brett's put his camera on. Brett, I'm gonna do a, how do I get your face nice and big, so that I can take a photograph? Ezekiel, you putting your camera on, Ezekiel? No. Oh, yay, Ezekiel. Right. Get ready. I'm going to take a photograph. I can do a shift print screen, huh? Or is it shift print screen? Oh, let's do a snippet. I know what I'm talking about. And snippet. Yay, I've got a photograph, right? I'll post that in our WhatsApp group. Right. Thank you very much for joining us, Brett, Ezekiel, from today, right? Brett, I hope you learned something new, that it wasn't a waste of your data and your time.
Definitely did.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you. Ezekiel, you learned something new?
Yes, I learned quite a lot. Thank you so much.
I'm happy for that. Oh, I should pause the recording. Right, let's just stop the recording first. Right, I'm going to stop.